In a recent interview with French magazine and news outlet Premiere, Ridley Scott hinted that he already has plans for Gladiator 3 prepared, and he would love to turn this duology series into a trilogy. Although Gladiator 2 hasn't even been released to cinemas yet, and there's no guarantee that the Gladiator sequel will even be a success financially or critically, especially if one takes into consideration Ridley Scott's most recent track record of historical films such as The Last Duel, Napoleon and Robin Hood, all of which have been commercial failures and not very well received by audiences either. But I guess this might mean that Ridley Scott is so confident that Gladiator 2 will be a success that he thinks planning and preparing for Gladiator 3 is a logical and foregone conclusion. The exact quote from the Ridley Scott interview is as follows: "I'm already toying with the idea of Gladiator 3. No, seriously, I've lit the fuse. The ending of Gladiator 2 is reminiscent of The Godfather, with Michael Corleone finding himself with a job he didn't want and wondering, 'Now father, what do I do?' So the next film will be about a man who doesn't want to be where he is." I actually find it quite surprising that Ridley Scott would use The Godfather as an example of a trilogy he would like to replicate, as by all accounts The Godfather should have stopped as a duology rather than extending the series with a needless and a poorly received third film. But nonetheless, it seems that Paul Mescal's Lucius may somehow get a position of power by the end of Gladiator 2, and the third film may potentially focus on what Lucius should do with this newfound power and not let it corrupt him like it has so many other Romans in history and in the Gladiator world in general. But it's not only Ridley Scott that has been adding fuel to the flame of Gladiator 3, as the star of Gladiator 2, Paul Mescal, has also confirmed in a separate interview with Premiere that he is also aware of Ridley Scott's plan for a Gladiator 3, and he's definitely interested in reprising his role for this potential third film of the series, if it becomes a reality, of course. So, with both the lead actor and the director on board for a third part to the Gladiator series, all that really remains to be seen is if Gladiator 2 will live up to the hype that Ridley Scott has been trying to garner for it. As he has stated, this movie has the most epic and action-filled opening sequence he has created in any historical film ever, and that he is certain that audiences will really enjoy Gladiator 2 when it hits cinemas later this year. But of course, he has said similar things about Napoleon, so we do have to take anything Ridley Scott says with a grain of salt. But nonetheless, it is interesting to confirm that Ridley Scott and Paul Mescal are ready for a Gladiator 3, and if Gladiator 2 does well financially in cinemas, then I am sure we will not have to wait 20 years to see the next part of the Gladiator franchise. But let me know in the comments down below if you think Gladiator 3 is a good or bad idea, and if you think Gladiator 2 will be a box office bomb or a success. And as always, if you want to stay up to date with everything to do with historical movies and historical TV shows, then subscribe to my channel History Spark, and thank you so much for watching. Have a great day. Bye.